Disclaimer, botting will get you banned. Do not engage in any behavior that contradicts RuneScape's terms of service. RuneScape has always had a botting problem, and the last 2 decades have been a heated game of cat and mouse between Jagex and bot creators. So for most of us, bots have never been an unusual sight. We've become accustomed to seeing them at shops, training skills, or even bossing. But have you noticed a lot of bots lately? Even by typical old school standards, I can't help but feel like bots are embedded into the game now more than ever. And if you don't take my anecdotal experience with bots as hard evidence, I don't blame you. So let's take a look at where things stand today. I'm gonna pull up the RuneScape high scores here, and let's just parse through a few of the boss KCs together. First up, we've got rank 6 Callisto for the entire game. This account has just 1500 total level, but over 17,000 Callisto KC. You know what though, he could just be a bear enthusiast, so let's keep checking. We're taking a look at the Vorkath front page this time. This guy is rank 3 overall in the game, just over 1900 total, and if I scroll down you can see that he has nearly 87,000 KC for his rank 3, and he's barely ranked for any other bosses in the game. Maybe he just really enjoys Vorkath though. Let's keep looking just a little bit further. One more account here. Let's take a look at rank 8 overall Fasani's Nightmare. 1000 total level with almost 8500 Fasani KC and 3500 Zulrah KC. I think you get the point. Historically speaking, bots were never making it to the front page of the high scores like they are today. We're at the point now where many of our front page high scores are more than 50% bots or suspicious accounts. And a lot of them aren't even trying to hide it. I mean, if this doesn't throw up some red flags, then I honestly don't know what will. And to make things worse, bots are evolving. And if you think what I've shown you so far is bad, brace yourself for what I'm about to show you next. But first, a word from today's sponsor, HelloFresh. HelloFresh is all about making mealtime easy. With their service, you get fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. No more waiting in lines at restaurants, no hassle, just great tasting meals that you can whip up and enjoy in the comfort of your own home. HelloFresh offers 40 weekly recipes to choose from seasonal dishes to high-protein meals. Whatever you're in the mood for, they've got you covered. And with grocery store prices higher now than ever, there's never been a better time to try out HelloFresh. Use my code below to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first order, and thank you again to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. PVM bots making it to the front page of the high scores is bad enough, but PVM at least has a moderate level of complexity. From how you fight the boss, to gearing, to transportation methods, bossing has a lot of factors that might make it tough to distinguish bots at first. Don't get me wrong, once someone's camped a boss for 2,000 hours straight and made it to the front page with only the base requirements trained, that's a pretty clear giveaway. But what's even more concerning to me is the state of simpler bots. For example, take thieving bots. Darkmire has been flooded with Bloodshard bots for months, and if you look them up on the high scores, you'll often find that their XP is in the hundreds of millions, or even sometimes maxed out at 200 million XP. A bot making it to level 99 used to be a big deal, but seeing bots last beyond 200 million XP is throwing up some red flags that something has gone terribly wrong. And it's not just thieving bots. You may have also stumbled upon runecrafting bots pushing 200 mil experience. There's a ton of these farms running. There's one that teleports to Karamja using the fairy ring to craft nature runes. There's an Edgeville farm using the Abyss, a Zaya runecrafting farm. They're truly everywhere. I've even seen level 3 shop bots that I've reported multiple times going strong months later doing the exact same thing. The question you might be asking is why, and I think the answer is more complicated than you might expect. The first factor is that bots aren't one-trick ponies anymore. Whereas bots used to do one activity and one activity only, that's not how most people play this game. Bot writers know this, and now bots are programmed to behave more like you or I. They train a variety of skills, they quest, they boss, and they do this to draw out detection time. But also, you've probably heard of ChatGPT, and as a software engineer myself, when I finally sat down and checked out this tool, I was shocked at how powerful it was. Bot writers can leverage AI in different ways as well. I've run into bots that will talk back to you like a real person. It's really creepy, by the way, and if it wasn't for account stats giving it away, it would be super hard to tell. AI tools can also write code, and really well, so just like other software engineers in the industry, I'm sure that bot creators are also using these tools and creating more sophisticated scripts with them. And it's not like Jagex bot detection has just been turned off. It's still definitely catching some bots. We also know this in part because we've seen a bunch of creators catch false botting bans. Framed, EVscape, Solo Mission, and Impling Only to name a few. Thankfully, all of those creators have enough subscribers to unlock Jagex customer support, but I still need another 1.6k, and 82% of you watching are not subscribed. So you would really be helping me out if you could hit the like button and drop a sub. After all, it's more content for you to watch. Alright, seriously though, if we're seeing content creators get banned, then you know there's a decent amount of normal players who are catching false bans too. Less incorrect bans and more obvious bot bans seems like a pretty reasonable request to me. Are you seeing the problem? No. Okay, well how about the insane amount of spam bots in game? Whether it's fake giveaways, cheat client adverts, hot cold bots, or buying items with token bots, it's nearly impossible to get a moment of peace without using a high total level world. The third reason I think we're seeing so many more bots is because of Jagex. I'm partially speculating here, but hear me out. We all know that the Jagex anti-cheating team is fairly small, and we also know that the team has had some challenges lately. But I actually suspect Jagex leadership themselves are the ones truly at fault here. Jagex has a long and documented history of dragging their feet on critical infrastructure improvements. For example, server stability and DDoS protection, customer service, account security, and outdated development tools. I would not be surprised at all if the anti-cheating team is trying to work with critically outdated tools and extremely limited resources. When you're up against an army of very capable programmers who are making bots, utilizing cheat clients, and leveraging AI tools, bot detection software from 4 generations ago just isn't going to cut it. Now, whether you agree with my hypothesis or not, I think we can all agree that there are far too many bots in the game right now. Whether it's PVM bots, skilling bots, scam bots, spam bots, minigame bots, or one of many other categories, it's not a good look for Jagex and it's not a good player experience. These don't just impact you or I, they also look terrible to new people trying out the game and encourage account phishing and hijacking because those accounts can be repurposed as the next generation of wilderness boss bots. Oh, and on the topic of wildy bosses, we've seen Jagex suggest anti-bot measures like total level requirements or locking things behind quests or diaries. Clearly, that does not work. All that's doing is temporarily slowing down bots until a workaround is in place and creating an annoyance for legitimate players. We need to leave the band-aid fixes at the door and address the root of the problem. Yes, botting has always been a problem, but it really does feel like it's reaching critical mass. Now, Ash recently tweeted that something was in the works to help with the botting issue, and while that does sound like a step in the right direction, we don't have much information at this time. Again, I want to reiterate that this is definitely not the development team's fault. The JMods that we know and love don't have any power here. I don't even blame the anti-cheating team, because I imagine that's an insanely overworked, understaffed, and under-resourced team that's just doing their best in a losing battle. I think what needs to happen is that the Jagex leadership needs to invest in better tools and infrastructure to better enable their teams to combat botting. Otherwise, this is just going to get worse. And of course it goes without saying, but always be kind and respectful to Jagex. No matter how frustrated we are with game issues, they are consistently working to make the game that we all know and love better, and they deserve respect. And yes, bots will never be completely gone, but it sure could be a lot better than it is now. If you made it this far, consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.